The Champions League is hotting up as we approach the business end of the season, with the teams fighting out in the last 8 of the competition finalized this week. PSG, Tottenham and Manchester United were among the big teams knocked out in a thrilling last 16 stage played out over the past month. Here Sportsmail will guide you through all you need to know about the sides remaining ahead of Friday's quarter-final draw. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Liverpool, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Roma, Sevilla. Follow Sportsmail's live commentary of the Champions League draw on Friday from 10 a.m. Champions League form guide, the only unbeaten side left in the competition alongside Liverpool. It's been serene progress into the last 8 for Ernesto Valverde in his debut season. Just 2 goals conceded so far shows a defensive steel not widely seen in previous vintages. 2 big home wins over Barcelona and Juventus in their 2 biggest games in Europe so far show they remain a tough proposition. In the Champions League competition history, 5-time champions now entering the end of the cycle that saw them lift the title 4 times in 9 years. But after securing a record 11th successive place in the last 8 of the Champions League, they are still a feared outfit. After quarter-final exits in the last 2 seasons, they will be desperate to make amends this time. Star man so far Lionel Messi was in inspired form to sweep aside Chelsea in Wednesday night's second leg at the Nou Camp. He may be into his 4th decade now, but the magic remains untouched and the killer instinct in the final third still unerring. He is hunting his 5th Champions League success, and you wouldn't bet against him getting it at some point. But will it be this season? Danger rating: they don't strike fear into you like the Barcelona of old under Pep Guardiola, or even Luis Enrique's 2015 side. But they showed their ruthlessness in dismantling Chelsea over 2 legs, and with Messi in this kind of form you always have a chance. 5/5 Bayern Munich Champions League form guide: a 3-0 reverse at PSG in September accelerated the demise of former manager Carlo Ancelotti, but it has almost been plain sailing for the Germans ever since. Jupp Heynckes has energized an aging side, who have won 5 straight games in the competition since. A 5-0 mauling of Beşiktaş in their first leg a month ago made the return fixture in Turkey on Wednesday night a mere formality. Competition history: among a select group of 5-time winners, Bayern Munich are bona fide royalty in the European Cup. Added to that is the experience of manager Heynckes, aiming to join Bob Paisley and Ancelotti in winning the competition for a 3rd time. He last won it with this side in 2013, 15 years after claiming it with Real Madrid in 1998. Star man so far: you can't look too much further than Robert Lewandowski, who once again has come to the fore in front of goal. The Polish hitman has struck 5 times in 6 games in the competition so far, and 32 in 35 games overall. But the dependence on Lewandowski may have turned into over-reliance over the course of the season. Only one other player, Thomas Müller, 10, has reached double figures. Danger rating: they are runaway leaders in the Bundesliga once again, but the sheen of old is not quite there. The name will be feared, and so too the top players who remain from Heynckes' triumph at Wembley 4 years ago. But there is a lingering suspicion that this is a side in need of overhaul this summer. 4/5 Juventus Champions League form guide: Juventus have not looked overly convincing, winning just 3 of their 6 group games and collapsing to a 3-0 defeat at Barcelona in September. But they came out on top in a titanic last 16 struggle with Tottenham, where their big game experience came to the fore at the crucial moments. Competition history: a big European name, but lacking the history in this competition their reputation deserves. Twice beaten finalists in the last 3 years, Juve have lost 7 finals in the competition's history, winning it only twice. It remains the one trophy missing from Gianluigi Buffon's cabinet, and manager Massimiliano Allegri has proved himself adept at negotiating 2-legged ties. Starman so far Paulo Dybala chose an opportune moment to break his European duck this season to send Juve through against Spurs last week. He has drawn level with Gonzalo Higuain as the club's top scorer this year and looks to be hitting his best form. At 24, is the Argentine finally ready to join the elite of world stars? Danger rating: a settled defense, a fearsome front line and a shrewd manager in the dugout. No one will want to draw Juventus in the quarterfinals. Their recent record is to be feared, with only Bayern Munich getting the better of Allegri over 2 legs in a madcap tie 2 years ago. But over 2 legs Tottenham showed that this is a side who can be got at it, with the goalkeeper whose powers appear to be waning. 4/5 Liverpool Champions League form guide: the competition's top scorers and the only unbeaten side remaining in the competition, alongside Barcelona. Jurgen Klopp's free-scoring side have taken Europe by storm, rattling up 2 7-0 wins in the group stage and a 5-goal romp away at Porto in the last 16. Competition history: 5-time winners with an illustrious European history dating back to before their maiden triumph in 1977. The miraculous win in Istanbul in 2005 ushered in a period of European excellence where Rafa Benitez continually took Liverpool into the latter stages. A downturn in fortunes over the last decade makes this only the second time since 2009 the Reds have reached the last 8. Starman: so far the obvious answer is Mohamed Salah, but it is Roberto Firmino who has come to the fore in Europe this season. He has 7 goals in the competition so far, making him the third highest scorer. His movement and defensive work in the attacking third make him an absolute handful for opposing teams, as much as his prowess in front of goal. Danger rating: they are yet to be tested against a European heavyweight, but with 28 goals in 8 games no one will want to draw them. A place inside the Premier League top 4 looks safe, for now, so Klopp may be tempted to throw all his eggs in one basket. Between now and the end of the season, Anfield retains a mystical aura on Champions League nights, and Liverpool will be sure to draw on that in the latter stages. 4/5 Manchester City Champions League form guide: 2 defeats and dead rubber games should take nothing away from Manchester City's excellence in the Champions League this season. They ran away as group winners thanks to 2 sparkling wins over an imposing Napoli side before Christmas and a kind last 16 draw against Hull posed few problems, with Pep Guardiola's side forging a 4-goal lead to take back to the second leg at home. Competition history: City remain relative novices in the Champions League. This is only the second time they have made it to the last 8 after a semi-final exit in 2016. Their previous underperformance in the competition looks to be a thing of the past now with the quality of the squad assembled by Guardiola. The Spaniard is another looking for a third triumph, having twice succeeded before with his stellar Barcelona side. Starman: so far the orchestrator from deep, Kevin De Bruyne has proved irresistible in the Champions League this season. Manchester City's starman runs the game and pulled the strings from midfield in significant group stage wins over Napoli. He embodies the style of play that has won admirers far and wide, and he will prove key whoever they draw in the next stage. Danger rating: City are surely the most feared side in Europe. After a stellar campaign so far that has seen them lose only 4 times in all competitions, they are running away with the Premier League title and can focus all their energies on the Champions League in the final months of the campaign. Unsurprisingly the bookies have them as favourites, and they will take some beating this year. 5/5 Real Madrid Champions League form guide: thoroughly unconvincing domestically, Real Madrid have showcased all their familiar hallmarks in Europe. A 3-1 dismantling by Tottenham in the group stage aside, it has been business as usual for the double defending champions. Cast as underdogs in the last 16 against PSG, Zinedine Zidane's side rose to the occasion and knocked out the French pretenders with ease over 2 legs. Competition history: Real Madrid defined the early stages of the European Cup and they define the competition even now. 3 triumphs in 4 seasons make this their strongest period since the days of Alfredo Di Stefano and Ferenc Puskás. The long wait for La Decima finally ended in 2014, and now the pursuit of number 13 is well and truly on. Starman: so far Cristiano Ronaldo. Who else? The twilight of his career is fast approaching, but there remains no one quite like the Portuguese when it comes to pressure moments in big game situations. He delivered the goods against PSG with 3 goals in the tie and leads the scoring charts with an incredible 12 strikes. Danger rating: they may not be the best team left in the competition, but Real Madrid are probably the one you would least like to draw. 3 wins in 4 years give them an unrivaled pedigree at this level. They may be creaking in the league, with Zidane approaching the end of his tenure, but would you back against them making it 3 from 3? 5/5 Roma Champions League form guide: one of the surprise packages of the season so far, but Roma have reached the last 8 of the competition entirely on merit. Edged out Chelsea to win Group C and knocked out Atletico Madrid in the process. Came through a tight last 16 tie over Shakhtar Donetsk on away goals thanks to Edin Dzeko's second half strike at the Stadio Olimpico this week. Competition history: one of only 2 teams left yet to claim the trophy. The Italians though do have some pedigree in the competition, losing in their only final appearance to Liverpool back in 1984. But this is the furthest they have been in the Champions League in 10 years, when they suffered quarter-final defeats in successive seasons to Manchester United. Starman: so far Alisson continues to impress in goal for Roma and kept them in the first leg against Shakhtar Donetsk, but it is former Manchester City striker Edin Dzeko who has most impressed in Europe this season. His 4 goals this year have propelled the Serie A side to their best performance in Europe in a decade. Danger rating: Chelsea came unstuck against Roma, but the Italians failed to lay a glove on Atletico Madrid over 180 minutes in the group stage. A narrow muscling out of Shakhtar will not have the rest of Europe quaking in its boots. They are certainly among the weakest two teams left. 2/5 Sevilla Champions League form guide won only twice to progress through the group stage, where they were involved in two thrilling draws with Liverpool, yet contrived to lose 5-1 away at Spartak Moscow. Manchester United's inexplicable refusal to attack the Spanish side led to their downfall in the last 16, with Wissam Ben Yedder's late sucker punch at Old Trafford sending Vincenzo Montella's side through. Competition history: Sevilla are into the quarter-finals for the first time in 60 years, and have never progressed further in the European Cup. They may be Champions League fledglings, but their European news should not be questioned after 3 successive Europa League titles between 2014 and 2016. Transferring that expertise up another level may prove a bridge too far, but shows they cannot be discounted. Starman so far: Wissam Ben Yedder's rather unheralded career has sparked into life this season. The Frenchman is the second top scorer in the competition with 8 goals so far, and his introduction on Tuesday night proved decisive in sending Sevilla into the last 8. Danger rating: a pretty side to watch, and very good in the middle third, but Sevilla lacked the cutting edge and firepower to go further in this competition. Manchester United played into their hands in the last 16 in a way that is inconceivable of any of the remaining Champions League favourites. A place in the semi-final is surely beyond them, despite the warning sounded by knocking out Manchester United. 3/5